sides to a truce and agreement, which we have made progress. And the meeting will convene in just a few minutes. And please be as gentle as you can with the people that are involved. Thank you very much.
What's your name?
I'm L.C. Scott.
Where are you from the church?
He's from nothing here. What are you doing up here talking? He's not even representing our group. I'm sorry. I don't even know. Man, what you doing? That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. No problem. No problem. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. No problem. Okay.
Here, Joe. Stern, Wedge, Fred.
Bring Charles Norman. Put the other people on both sides.
Charles Norman down front.
What is that? Stand behind us, brothers. A couple of them will talk. Take it easy.
That's good. Because we got to move the chairs up.
Yes.
Stand behind. We got some people standing behind.
Lower your voice. Take it easy. Let the brothers all in behind us, right up there. Let them stand behind us. Let them stand behind us, brothers. A couple of them will talk. That's all right. Take your time. Take it easy. Settle down. Settle down. Bring my minister. You got to come up here. Bring the minister. Okay, you stay right here, though. You come right on around here. We're going to have to stand. Nobody's going to be able to sit. I might have to sit if we have to. I'm going to get everybody in. Take your time. This is a small room. That's okay.
We've got to sit.
Okay, take it easy. All right. Just take it easy. Lower your voice. Be cool. Get all our people in. Come on in. Come on in. You all, thank you for being so patient with us. Just bear with us a few moments. We have to get all of our people in. Come on in. That's good. Where's Fred? Fred?
Fred. Go get Fred.
He's in the car. Okay, all right. Okay, let's be seated, you all. No chairs? Okay. That's all right. No, it's all right. Yeah. We have, take it easy. Take it easy. Come, Brother Bruce. Pass out the statements to the press. There'll be a few corrections that will alter. We'll have a few. That's enough for everybody.
How many is this?
Where's Craig?
I haven't seen it right now. Thank you.
Lily? Lily? Come over here. All those people straight. Okay. All right, does everyone have one? Again, thank you for your patience and waiting for us. Due to the... Be quiet now. Be quiet now. Everybody, no more talking. That's what everybody's on. Who's going to speak? Who are the two persons who are going to speak? Okay, all three of you are going to speak. Okay. All right, working with us, Youth Gang Services, and all other ministers and groups who are coming to work with us, plus our precious young people who have come to work with us. We've invited you here today, because we're excited. This is the first step in many negotiations that will alleviate the problem. We have two rival gangs that have come together and have labored for 3 days to work out the solution. And we're victorious because we worked out a solution, and we have here 2 gangs of color who have put their colors aside and joined hands to help stop the killing in our city. The community negotiating team, we have found positive qualities in these young people, contrary to the reports of vicious, insane people. These young people are not vicious. They're very cooperative, and they want to find solutions. Thirdly, these young men and women have indicated through their dialogue that the churches, the schools, and the parks, and government and businesses must all join hands and stretch their efforts beyond their normal things that they normally do, so that all of us together can impact this problem. Thirdly, Christ Jesus has taught us that one life is important. One life. There's a premium on one life. If we can save one of these young persons from being killed and mowed down in our streets, all the effort, it's worth all the effort. One life is precious in the sight of God. These young men and women have pledged to be ambassadors. They're back into their gangs. They'll go back into their gangs, and they'll talk with the gang members and convince them to lay down the weapons and to seek a more wholesome community for everyone. One thing I'd like for you to understand is that just like President Reagan and Premier Gorbachev, when they had their meetings, when they had their summit and they had their meetings for world peace, there were a lot of negotiations that went on. A lot of lesser leaders, a lot of ambassadors, a lot of chief of states met together before the big meeting. So this is what we're doing. We're taking the first step. We met. This is a victory because we brought 2 gangs together. Many folk are talking, but we're working and doing it. Amen. Okay. These young men and women must be allowed to utilize their own creative geniuses in areas of job, entrepreneurship, artistic development, and they will make a great contribution to our country. So we've come. This is the first step. We applaud, and we want to make it clearly understood that all those persons that all other agencies, we will gladly, this community organizing group, we will work with anyone. All of those persons who are working to alleviate this problem are our friends. We will certainly work with them, and we want them to work with us. So now we want our young people to, yes. Okay. Come on, Mr. Parker. I want Mr. Parker here to come. Mr. Parker is one of our negotiating specialists, and he's worked in depth with these young people. Go ahead, Brother Parker.
The thing that I want you to know, I'm going to reiterate something Reverend said, I'm sure, but we have come together with a group of rival people. They are people like we are. Amen. The success that we gain at this meeting will never be told, because you had to be in the meeting in order to understand what really went on. Amen. You know, we call them O.G.s. O.G.s mean original gangsters. They are so mild to us. They're so mild to each other. They brought the younger generation with them so they could show them how to talk with people. We had no problems. At this present time, we have some that could not come down. We wish they could. But see, we're looking forward to the next step. And the next step is going to be to get jobs. And we're going to get them jobs. Because we'll make an appeal to John Q. Businessman right now. Call 569-4162. Tell us that you have a job for a kid. Not a gang member, but a kid. Okay? Hallelujah. That's the thing that we're trying to say. Right. We have 5 jobs out of this conference in this room right now. And we gave them those jobs because that's what they wanted. The bottom line is, they said if they have jobs, they won't gangbang. And I believe them.
And we want to say, in no uncertain terms, that the leaders of this summit were the young people. They were the leaders of the summit. They told us to go out of the room. That's it. We left them in the room alone. That's right. They're not vicious killers. as they've been portrayed in the press. We left them in the room alone. They set the agenda.
That's right.
They set the tone of the conference, and we listened. And now we're going to hear from these young people.
Okay.
We have been here for 3 days now. They had left us in the room by ourselves, and there wasn't no violence or anything. I got a couple of homies called Psycho, Sam, and Pluto. They are willing to help stop the gang violence. But you guys out there have to give us a chance. Give us jobs, and there won't be no more gang violence. There won't be no more ride-by shooting. And you just have to give us the chance to prove that we can do that.
We just get your name.
Okay. What's your name?
Young Psycho.
Okay. Psycho. And Mr. Parker's first name?
Fred.
How old is young Psycho?
She's a young lady.
Will you give us your age?
No, that's her.
Not important.
Go ahead, speak, son.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say that we did make a great accomplishment. Okay, because they left us in the room together, Bloods and Crips. And we sat there, and it was a great accomplishment to me because I never thought I would see the day me sitting face to face with a Crip. Dudes that shot little kids in my neighborhood, shot people's mothers, shot my own friends. But they people just like we are, and I've learned that. And I've learned also that there's no difference between us. And we can come together. And once we come together like you want us to, once we come together, that 60,000 gang members that you have out there come together, you got to give us something to look forward to. Because once we down again, once we establish love between each other, we're not going to break down again. We're not going to let that happen. So if you're looking for it to happen, it's not. So we're going to go out there. I'm going to go back to my neighborhood because I'm not a leader. I'm somebody that's well educated from my neighborhood. So they sent me here to speak and represent my neighborhood. Because I'm not going to sit up here and let the press trick me into saying nothing that ain't true. Okay? I want to get that point across now. So the main point I want to say is this. We all the people. Now we're asking you to give us jobs. Now if we come together and forget the violence and start to love one another, what you gonna do then if you don't have the jobs and you got 60,000 angry gang members in the city of Los Angeles alone? And they're not gonna break down again? I wanna know what you gonna do then.
What's your street name?
My street name is Twilight. Another name is K-Mac.
What are you going to do when you go back to the community?
When I go back to the community, I'm going to talk to my homeboys and I'm going to let them know what I seen in that room for that 3 days. Something that they might not think could ever be done. But if they listen to me and respect me and look up to me like they always have for staying in school, they going to open up and they going to ask me, Twilight, man, what it was like being there. And I'm going to tell them, man, it was beautiful. It was some of your wildest dreams, man, to sit there with a Crip, man, and don't be having to worry about getting shot or hitting your face because you're from a different gang. I can stand right now with this brother. He a Crip true enough, but I can shake his hand. I swear that all. So when I go back to my neighborhood, they might be looking at me now. They might be criticizing now, but then they gonna start to think, well, man, if we all come together and they willing to give us jobs, we'll be too tired when we get home from work to gang back. We'll be too tired. We'll be ready, the main time, go home with our kids, we want pet bulls in the front yards and pigs in the back and our babies too. We want to live, man. We don't want to die. And we don't have nothing else to do but sit out there and drink cheap liquor. You know what I'm saying? And when you drink that cheap liquor, just like y'all, when you go to your cocktails parties, you drink them cocktails, you might not be the same once you leave there. Number things you get on there. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Are the gangs tired of, have they gotten to the point that they are tired of all the violence too? Has it just reached the point?
See, this is the thing. Gang members look at what happens when they go to the funerals. over in my neighborhood, a drive-by shooting occurred. No gang member was shot, but a little girl was grazed. I know they have to open the doors because it's not right, man. Why should a child be hurt over nothing? Over us not having jobs, man, nothing else to do, out there intoxicated with these drugs and alcohol that they're letting us buy, you know. Why should they be hurt over that? And it's going to have to stop, man. It's going to have to stop. And I'm not going to guarantee, but I'm going to say at least I'm going to put the hope in what's going to make it happen.
All right. Now hold your questions until all of our people
Reverend,
speak.
you got one more.
Yeah. Hold the question. Hold the question. Come on, brother.
You know, I'm not that good of a speaker, but I appreciate that. I'm going to get my point across.
Here goes your name.
Yeah.
Take your time.
But what I'm saying is this. It's like he was saying, I know that to see these days come like we did today. Seeing us all come together, meeting up, talking, shaking hands, even ate dinner together. I mean lunch or whatever it was, outdoors, whatever you want to call it. But this is what I'm saying is this though. In my neighborhood, like my little homeboys with me, you know, Mookie and Iceman, they came to get me for a reason. And because I be trying to talk to them about the problems that's going on out there. You know, they do listen to me out there because they want to get out of it, but they just trapped in a little bind. They need some kind of little camp programs and all that, you know, because they never been out their neighborhoods. You know, they ain't never been part of the Magic Mountain, San Diego, any little thing. Just in their neighborhood, and so that brings up a lot of pressure right there. And well, who might have any questions?
Hold your question.
My name is 12 from Avalon. 12.
Number 12.
My name is Reverend Stern. I'm one of the coordinators for the group. I first like to start off by saying that in behalf of the Ramada Inn Hotel, you have never saw anybody in Los Angeles want to take a real risk. When we first told them about the idea of having a gang summit, they were like everybody else. They were scared. But the Ramada Inn said that we like to have a solution and we like to say end to the problem. So I want to personally thank, in behalf of the whole committee of the summit, the Ramada Inn for coming and opening the doors to us. They've been over backwards. They've helped us out in every way we possibly can. They made us all comfortable. And I just like to give them a hand for their efforts right now.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, and also before Reverend Carter comes, I'd like to say, you have never saw, as a young person, I have never thought I would make friends. You know, when you live in a different style of life, you don't think you'll make friends like this. But I made good friends. We went places. Last night we went and met people who was going to take us to basketball games. So I just want you to know we made some good friends out of this summit. That's all it was about. We made good friends.
Can I ask you something? The negotiations.
No questions.
Not yet.
I'm Charles Norman, the Director of Field Series for Community Youth Gang Series, and I see the Executive Director, Mr. Steve Valdeva, has made it here. I just want to commend Reverend Mims and this negotiating staff and these young people for 3 grueling days of something that is of no surprise to us, because in the past there have been some truce, contrary to what you have heard, that was meaningful, just on such a small scale, and it has to be escalated. So we know that this could happen. CYGS is also involved in some very specific and measurable activities to assist young people. CYGS has provided 111 jobs with the assistance of the Department of Public Works. It also have 195 youth working with the City and County of Los Angeles doing the summer program. What we are saying is that we are going to work hard to dig out the additional jobs, to get the Park and Recreation Department that it has meaningful, supervised, organized activities for young people, and where we can get our young people into job training. If the boys is filled, we can reduce gang violence. In addition to providing prevention and intervention service, CYGS holds daily rap sessions with large numbers of young people, large groups of young people. One of the key things we are doing this summer is trying to make it safe on the street for the youngsters working on the summer program so that they can at least have those jobs available. It's very violent out there for them. Gangs have been driving by and attacking those youngsters out there working, and we have been standing strong out there to help.
Pardon?
We have 12 here. How many met with you during
12.
12.
Yeah.
What was the division?
6 and 6. Pardon?
6 and 6.
6 and 6.
Okay. Is it Twilight, man?
Yes.
Usually, gang members who have developed a high profile by being on...
Sir, are you asking a question? I'm making a statement.
I'm asking a question.
Okay, come on.
People who have had high profile, they've been shot at or shot or something. Are you afraid of retaliation?
I'm not afraid of retaliation simply because the Crips that my neighborhood is involved with, that we have battle with, we know each other. We had a truce at one point in stance. We didn't have no shooting or drive-by shootings for 6 months, okay? So what I'm saying is, what's going to happen out there is this. I don't care what Crip walks up to me and identifies himself for his neighborhood. I'm just going to simply tell him, I ain't into it. I wish you wasn't into it. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to help you get out of it. And I'm going to talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I ain't got time for it.
Good.
Do you think that they're going to listen to you?
Hold it. Yes. All right. Okay. Any questions in the back? Wait. In the back.
Your willingness to come forth and do this, do you feel back in the neighborhood you've got a lot of support from most of the people in the gang?
Of course.
Laughing at you? What's your reaction?
I have a lot of support in my neighborhood because believe it or not, right now I can tell you there's at least about 15 of us that don't even wear our colors no more. There's 15 of them back in my neighborhood right now that don't even wear their colors no more. They don't represent.
So then why are you wearing them? Isn't that the
reason why I'm wearing them is just to let you know where I'm from. Because I'm not going to get up here and tell you my neighborhood and all that. I'm just going to specify to you that I'm a blood. And I'm just...
the colors and the kill and killing people over the color of the rag. Isn't that...
No, that's not what it's all about. It's not over the color. The color don't mean nothing. All right? The color is just there as a uniform, just like the LAPD has theirs. Okay? Now, what it's all about is this. We wake up every morning, body's full of energy, nowhere to put it. You know what I'm saying? And we sit out there on them corners and we be talking things. We all get together. They start coming out, man, what you doing today? Oh, I'm not doing nothing. I ain't got nowhere to go. I got $1 in my pocket. Yeah? Hey, I got one too. Let's go get some brew. So you start drinking, and just like I said before, just like y'all, when y'all have your cocktail party, you start drinking, you do things you never thought you would do. And that's where it comes from most of the time.
All right. Okay, now, the last thing we want to do, we thank you. You've been so patient, and we love you. You've done a great... Last thing we want to do for the press, the remaining press, that which stole our heart. This little lady is going to lead us in prayer, and we're going to sing our song. We have overcome. We have overcome. Wait. Come on. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, just before that. Wait a minute. One of the young men in our group. Come here, Brother Parker. One of the young men in 2 days used it. He didn't want to be seen. Used his energy and ingenuity to create these shirts in 2 days. It spells out the spirit of our summer. This gives you the spirit of it. He says, this shirt, let him get it. Hold it a while. Hold it a while. Oh, this shirt is for the liberals. He says, those who are more liberal-minded, and this shirt is for those who are more conservative. So we have something for everyone, and we're not trying to offend anyone.
Could I ask one more question?
Hold it. Sir, you've had 3 questions. Really? Sir, you've had no more questions.
Well, the gang members...
We're going to address that in a moment.
Well, the gang members transported here in limousine.
Beg pardon?
Well, the gang members transported here in limousine.
Let me answer that.
Go ahead.
Listen, man. Okay. Yes, we was transported here in limousine. Anything wrong with that? I mean, when you go to the airport, I'm sure you're going to leave your car at home. You're going to go in a limousine, too. What make us any different from anybody else? We just as good as you know what I'm saying? You just got to give us a chance to show.
Who pays?
Is that important?
If they don't have jobs, how can they afford a limo if they don't have jobs?
No comment. Wait a minute. Okay, the one thing I want you to know, we're going to put these on every street corner in LA. This kid's going to become an entrepreneur, and he's going to work with his groups. No matter what their colors are, he's going to have them sell them. Because this one says, that's the one. Red is for blood, blue is for Crip, and they're saying a truce. And that's what they're working on. That's what they're working on. You talk about a truce, they are working on the truce.
You got it.
All right, now 3 things to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the first thing that we're calling? We're asking for this committee. This committee is asking for 7 days of prayer. From this day on, 7 days of prayer. What's this?
Starting Friday.
Starting tomorrow. And then 8 days from that day, which is August the 5th, we'll all meet, all denominations, all people who believe in prayer and believe in God, will meet us at the Coliseum to pray. And the last thing we say is that each one of our churches, Dr. Joseph Lee, Reverend Carter, and all other churches here, we have come together and we said that we will hire, we'll be responsible for the young people in our community, whether they're in Crip or blood territory. We'll be responsible to give them a job. We'll be there for them. And our church is hiring a young person to work. And we're going to keep on till we want businesses and everybody else out there to help us with this problem. And we thank you. Now, just before...
Have you scheduled another gang summit?
No more questions. Our singers.
I thought it was a press conference.
For security purposes.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. All right, okay, excuse me.
You want to answer questions, Reverend? That's what you call a press conference, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we
a lot of questions out here. Do you want to answer those?
Sure, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead a little further. But hold it now.
Hold it, Reverend.
Come on.
Charged against you personally of showboating, being counterproductive. How do you answer those questions?
Okay.
Press, we have questions.
Okay.
Answer them for us?
Let me answer that.
Please.
Of showboating, being counterproductive.
Yes, sir. And headline grabbing and a whole bunch of other things. What do you say about that, sir?
We took the first step. We took the first step in the summit, and we brought 2 rival gangs together. Right. If that's showboating, and if that's press grabbing or whatever it is, we've done the best we could. Amen. And that's right.
Have you scheduled another summit?
Yes, ma'am. We have further plans to keep on working until we alleviate this problem with you.
The next summit?
For security purposes, we can't say. For security purposes, we don't say.
Yeah, for security purposes.
For when? I mean, I didn't ask for a map to get there.
Soon, ma'am. Soon.
Excuse me, have you talked with the mayor's office to see what the heck are they doing about jobs?
No comment.
Reverend, let me answer that from over here.
Go ahead.
Mr. Norman there represents the mayor's office. He's on the payroll practically. He's got a grant from the mayor's office and from the council. What more do you need?
Well, what about Mayor Bradley? Has he come out and
10,000 jobs. 10,000 jobs he's got out there. We're going to get some of them.
Reverend, it seems to me that you are considering the unemployment creates gangs. So the government has been asking, begging, trying the different ways to tell the business community, give employment to our people. The businessman doesn't want nothing but profit for himself. He can go to Tijuana or Indonesia or Taiwan or anywhere else, get for 1 hour of labor that pays here, he pays a whole day there. Why should they stay here and give jobs to these guys?
First of all, sir, the answer to your question is, we're not saying these brothers are qualified so much because of their educational background, but we're asking employers to give them jobs first out of heart. Anybody who loves God should want to see their fellow man or woman succeed. Now, if you have a piece of pie and you keep sitting on it, the Bible puts it this way. When the rich man wouldn't share with Lazarus, in hell he raised up his eyes.
Okay, that's good.
Hallelujah.
Hold it. Leave it there. Leave it there.
Yeah, businessmen care for dollars.
That's okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Are there other questions? We don't want you to think we're rude.
Hey,
we're trying to, yes.
I want to clarify one thing. Did you sign an actual truce, or was the victory just getting these guys to sit down and talk? I mean,
the victory is bringing them together, and as far as signing the truce, we haven't reached that point yet. We're working on it. This is a step. 7-day prayer. That's an error. That's an error there.
That's
7 truce. Yeah, but it's prayer. Prayer. We're not calling that a truce. Yes.
Reverend, what sort of cooperation are you getting from the police department, the sheriff's department? What have they said?
Excellent cooperation. They're doing a good job.
Can I ask these two fellows here who spoke, do they feel that eventually there can be a truce, and do you think it's unrealistic to expect eventually the violence that has become so publicized?
Look at this.
Can that end?
It came here, it can go back. Simple as that. And what we're going to do is, like we've been saying, we're going to go back to our neighborhoods, and we're going to talk to our homeboys, and our homeboys know people of other neighborhoods, and we're going to influence them to talk to them. The violence going to have to stop. Because if you got a horde, and you really look at what's going on out there, nobody's winning. We're not making money. You know, the killers, ain't nobody getting paid for killing who they kill. Nobody's getting anything out of it. And if they look at what these people are saying, we're offering you jobs, we're giving you an opportunity to make something out of yourself, to be what you want to be. We're giving you that. They gonna lay down the red rags, the red rags, the blue rags. They gonna lay them down simply because they want to be somebody. And see, they so frustrated and full of anger and full of despair till they don't know what to do. They think it's nothing out there for them, but these people finna open doors for them and show them it's something out there. And they gonna, when they see it, when they get a chance to see it, they gonna reach for it.
Well, why do more not stay in school? I mean, what makes them drop out?
You know what makes them drop out? I'm gonna tell you what makes them drop out. The gangs don't make them drop out.
What?
The gangs don't make them drop out of school.
I know that, but why don't people who join gangs not join gangs and stay in school? I know that sounds like a fairy tale kind of question, but why do they stay in it?
Listen.
Not all of them.
Why do they stay in gangs?
Why not stay in school, get an education, and get a job?
Not against this is what happened. I stayed in school, okay? My last year of high school, I came out with straight A's, all right? I want to be a radiologist. You know anybody out there that's going to give me the money to put me out there to go to school to be a radiologist? I don't fill the applications out for jobs. I'm intelligent enough to do that. I'm intelligent enough to do anything that anybody else out there can do. Ain't nobody different from me.
What's stopping you from doing that?
You know what's stopping me?
It's jobs. Jobs. We need
money. We need money to go to school, don't we?
But the one thing I want to say, they are talking about a truce. I just want all of the law enforcement agencies to play the game fair. Because what I heard today about many things that happens during a truce makes it seem as though the trucees are doing the perpetrating. So I don't want that. If this happens, now you, as the young man said, you got 60,000 gang members coming at us. We want just the cooperation from the law enforcement.
Steady growing.
How many people? We have 12 gang members, how many ministers and so forth?
Now,
we've got a host of them. One thing about the shirts, Frederick, if you notice one thing about what came out of this summit positive, you asked about a truce. If you notice those shirts, they didn't have red or blue. Those gang members are going to be wearing colors of their rival gangs, red and blue. We're trying to get them to turn in their colors now for those T-shirts, and they like it. The gang member drew that up themselves. So that should tell you what's going on.
Twilight.
And then I like to speak on the police department. Now, the police department, a lot of the gang fights is brought upon by them, okay? Because I know homeboys that the police done picked up and dropped in their rival gang members' neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying, man? And the things that happen to them, man, is unmentionable. You know what I'm saying? And that's painful. When the police, man, people you're supposed to trust, the ones you're supposed to run to, is taking your homeboy to a rival gang member's neighborhood and leave him there. He gets beat up or whatever. You can't run and tell somebody on the police cause who's gonna listen to you? You a gang member. So you gotta retaliate yourself. So if the police will stop making gang members fight, maybe we can, you know, work things out amongst ourselves too. But they gotta help stop it too and quit doing it themselves. Cause I know policemen that run around saying blood and cuz.
All right, thank you. We appreciate, we've attempted to be very lenient with you, and you've been lenient with us, and we've had a good meeting. Okay, hold it. Come on back. Let's all join hands. Where's my little lady? Come on, baby. We have overcome.
Yeah, come on. Don't let them leave.
That's right. Let them, whatever.